This video contains content that may be confronting.
The UN people that I've spoken to over the days and weeks, they always say that it's not Hamas that's stealing the aid, that it is armed groups in Gaza, because that's what's happening in Gaza. There are armed gangs and clans, it's a lawless land, and they say that it is these gangs that are going in, raiding trucks, kidnapping drivers, looting the aid, along with hungry people. I mean, often you see these videos of just hordes of people jumping onto the backs of trucks. In some cases, it is the clans who are armed. In other cases, it's just desperate Palestinians. But what's a really interesting point about these armed gangs? The biggest gang in Gaza is a Bedouin clan, and it's run by a man called Yasser Abu Shabab. And Israel's Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, came out a few weeks ago and said, yes, we are arming the clans in Gaza. We're arming them so that they can undermine Hamas. That is Israel's justification for it. But the UN people that I've spoken to, they say that all of this, as we just heard, is adding to the chaos, the confusion, and this utter lawlessness in Gaza, which makes it impossible for the UN or any organisation to try and deliver aid.
With respect to what we've seen in the most recent announcements here by Israel, what difference will the aid deliveries that we're seeing being dropped now that Israel has announced, what difference will these make? I
mean, the pictures look great, don't they? You know, we're seeing parachutes of aid delivered into Gaza after months and months of, according to all the organisations, barely any aid. But everyone that you speak to says this is nothing. It's a drop in the ocean. There are 2 million people in Gaza who don't have enough food. So Israel dropped 7 pallets. We've got Jordan and the United Arab Emirates, they're dropping more. But none of this is going to make a difference. We've seen it all before. We had aid drops over a year ago. They did very little. We had a barge built for a time by the United States. It fell apart and it didn't achieve anything. So the aid groups are hoping that the only thing that could make some difference is allowing more trucks into Gaza, humanitarian corridors, so that the trucks don't get raided by these gangs and hungry people. That is the only thing. But you need at least 500 trucks a day. And up until now, we've been barely getting 70 trucks. So, I mean, this is something, but it's clearly not enough.
So then, does this mean there's an emerging black market for food? You know, if people try and get food any which way they can, because they're looking down the barrel of what many are saying is starvation.
It's not an emerging black market. It is a well-established black market, and it's been well-established for, I would say, over a year now. That's exactly right. It is so expensive to buy anything in Gaza. If you can't get it from the aid distribution points, which most people can't, as we know, more than 1,000 people have been killed, according to the Palestinian authorities, trying to get it, you go to the markets, but the markets are largely empty. If you find anything, it costs a fortune. So I was speaking to one Gazan family. They had bought some lentils to make enough soup for 6 people. It cost around 180 Australian dollars. It's unbelievable, and I think it's hard for all of us to fathom that that is what people are paying. It's not only a black market in food, it's a black market in cash, in cigarettes. All of this is part of the complete sort of lawless state that Gaza is in. You know, gangs roaming around. We see the pictures all the time. You can see that there's no real security control. And a lot of people have accused Israel of contributing to that, saying that they want Gaza to be in this sort of lawless, uncontrollable state, because the longer it's in that situation, the more difficult it becomes for any sort of alternative leadership, perhaps, to emerge from Gaza, alternative to Hamas, of course. Now, Israel, for its part, is now continuing to say that it wants to get aid into Gaza, that it has opened these humanitarian corridors. There'll be a 10-hour daily pause in the fighting in 3 separate parts of Gaza to try and get food to people. But it's been months and months. We've seen the pictures of people starving in Gaza. So it's going to take a lot more than this.
We'll see how it all plays out over the next few days. Nicole Johnston, many thanks for joining me.